Hi everyone, Drajan here, and today we'll be taking a look at the updated version of the Kemove Snowfox mechanical keyboard. So the Kemove Snowfox is a 60% mechanical keyboard with Bluetooth functionality. It now retails in Banggood for around $90, but I got mine at a discounted price of $80 when they had some sort of introductory price for this batch. You can also get a black version named Shadow. Make no mistake about it, the Kemove Snowfox is aimed at the Pro 2 market share while offering one killer feature. This keyboard is hot swappable. That means that you can change the switches on the fly, opening up this keyboard for a lot of customization. I did make another video on the Snowfox where I put speed switches and go through the process of hot swapping. Link for this video will be in the description. Here's the unboxing. So out of the box, you get 3 sample switches to test, the keyboard and dust cover, switch and keycap puller, and a white USB Type-C braided cable. The Snowfox received an upgrade recently. The board now has 5-pin sockets, improving compatibility. Now you can use 5-pin or 3-pin switches without any issue. It seems they also changed the stabilizers. The first release had black stabs, but this updated version now has yellow stabs. I did not have the old version, so I couldn't compare it, but these yellow ones are good. Typing experience will be hard to judge since you can customize this quite easily. A lot will depend on your switch and keycap of choice. But this is the typing sound out of the box with Gateron browns. I also include some typing sounds from the speed switch build that I made. So typing experience out of the box is good. There is very minimal rattle on the stabilizers and should be easily fixed with some dielectric grease. Though the stabs did have a bit of lube already. These move a bit on the plate, but since this is hot swap, you can also easily mod or replace these stabilizers if you want to. If you will buy replacements, make sure to buy plate mounted stabilizers. I recommend cherry plate mount stabs or Gateron pre-lubed stabs. These are stabilizers that snap into the plate. Going to the design and layout, this is a 60% board, so for those who are new to this, you will not have a function row, navigation cluster, and a numpad. These are all accessed via a function layer, which is triggered by pressing the function key and the corresponding key denoted by the inscription at the bottom of some of the keycaps. If this is your first time buying a 60% keyboard, take into account that this will be a big adjustment, especially if you use your keyboard for work, as having no arrow keys can be quite restrictive. You can change the key settings by installing the Kemove app and customizing it there. If you really need your arrow keys, my recommendation is to change these keys to default as arrow keys. This board has pull-out feet, so you have a bit of choice on the angle of the keyboard. I find both settings fine. This will be up to your personal preference. As for the keycaps, these are good. Double shot backlit PBT with nice crisp legends. I think they are manufactured by the same company that makes the Pro 2's keycaps, as the legends and texture are very similar. Almost no backlight bleed on the keycaps, which I plan on discussing in detail in later videos. One thing that I don't like is that instead of having the function layer printed on the side like the Unpro did, they decided to have it at the top of the board like the one on the RK61. I prefer having it on the side. Doing it this way, where it is on top of the keycap, is just a messy implementation, but that is personal preference. You can tell me what you like on the comments section. Another design choice that I do not like is this black piece of enclosure here. It would have been better if they just went with an all-white design, but I have seen people who like this design. As for the functionality, this can connect via USB Type-C on the left side of the board, which is where it should be, or via Bluetooth. You can pair up to 3 devices. To start pairing, you hold function plus Z, X or C for a few seconds. After that, you can switch by just pressing the buttons, no need to hold. As usual, for Bluetooth connections, reliability is a concern. In my 2 weeks of on and off use, I only got disconnected once. I always game using wired mode, and I recommend you do the same. One nitpick though, even if I turned off Bluetooth mode, it still asks for a Bluetooth connection, even if it is wired, so that is a bit weird. This keyboard also comes with a Mac profile, so you can switch to that. I don't have a Mac, so I can't test that, but I was able to pair it with my iPad with no issues. The battery is big at 3000 mAh, and for those who are keeping score, that is 50% bigger than the AnPro 2. Because of this, even if you're on battery, the LED lights can remain on for around a minute, unlike in the AnPro where it turns off every 10 seconds or so. Here are the onboard LED effects. As for build quality, this is really built well. No flex whatsoever anywhere on the board, and it feels really solid. As for the competition, should you buy this or the AnPro 2? In my opinion, I would recommend the Kemove Snowfox over the AnPro 2. In a lot of cases, they perform similarly, but the Kemove Snowfox is Hotswap and it makes all the difference in terms of customization. Even if you don't plan on customizing your board, I would still recommend the Kemove Snowfox as it makes fixing your keyboard easier down the road if you encounter issues. Not to mention, it also makes lubing and modding way easier as your stabilizer and switches can be easily removed. Typing experience is very similar, but the Snowfox has a bigger battery and has pull-out feet which the AnPro doesn't have. Even if the Kemove was priced $20 higher than the AnPro 2, I would still say it is worth it. The only area where I could see the AnPro having an advantage is on its design. For my personal preference, I just like the cleaner look of the AnPro 2, both on the keycaps and the design of the case. Another contender is the GK61XS. It is a Hotswap keyboard, however, the price for the Bluetooth version starts at around $65 without switches or keycaps. A set of Gateron switches could easily set you back by around $15 to $20, and that alone puts you very close to the Kemove Snowfox price without keycaps. And it would be hard to find inexpensive keycaps to match those on the Kemove. That makes the Kemove a better proposition, especially for beginners since it's already a pre-built keyboard. With all of that said, I think the Kemove Snowfox is hands down the best budget Hotswap keyboard in the market right now. You get a well-built keyboard, good typing experience out of the box, all at a price where it is easily accessible for those who are buying their first ever mechanical keyboard. Hopefully you enjoyed this review. There will be non-affiliated links in the descriptions below. If you liked the video, please do consider subscribing. It really helps me out. Thanks and see you on the next one. Bye!